Morning. Hi. Hey. How you doing? Good morning. Hey, Cyborg. Moon is looking so good this morning. Is my music too loud? Or is it okay? Perfect. Okay, awesome. Pretty awesome. Look how crispy the moon. This is beautiful. Really beautiful. Hi, Tuba. Hi, Samantha. How are you? Oh, yeah. Definitely enjoyed it. Like when just viewing out the gotta see. Really beautiful. Got some cloud in the bottom camera there. We can see stars, so it makes me wonder if we could pick up Uranus. I believe we would be able to. Yeah, it's a really good app. Hey Ben, how's it going? Morning. Thought I would be I wouldn't be able to dissipate. Is it true there's radiation? Yeah, from solar. Cosmic radiation. I don't know. I always like stunned when I see them. You can look at it hundreds and hundreds of. I'm going to zoom in here in just a minute, so we'll zoom into some that crater. Computer. Yeah, there's Rick. We terraform the moon. It's a tough one. Really a tough one. Obviously, it'd be a lot easier than terraforming other celestial, obviously. Can you believe that behind the moon? No transform. Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, if you ever want to see high definition photographs of far side, and you can look up Lunar Reconnaissance. The first one to take photographs on the far side of the moon would have been Russia. He doesn't leave there. Nah, that's fine. Some people are just deniers, man. Some people like the conspiracy theories, but obviously there's a lot of radiation around microwaves, and we still get around those just because we know how to safely be around them. Oh my god! Can't believe it's made of cheese. Yeah, what kind of cheese do you think it'd be made of? If it was made of cheese, what kind of cheese would the moon be made of? Queso fresco. Hey Charlie, how's it going? Morning, by the way. Limburger? What? That's just craziness. Cheddar cheese? Ever caught a UFO around the moon surface or leaving the moon? That's actually a really good question because I know there's a lot of videos out there that Craig can, especially with the, we're in the age of AI, right? But no, in order for something to be seen, especially through like my telescope, I got a really large telescope here. It would have to be at least 3 miles wide on a really good night. It would have to be something really massive to be able near the moon itself. Hey Roberto, good morning. How are you? Absolutely, Daniel. No problem. I move the telescope just a bit, try to center. A really beautiful view. I really love this view. We may jump around. Might go down. Or some people like to say Uranus. Ladies of the Seven says really close to where them. I don't know if you guys can see all them stars there on the left side. That's going to be the constellation. I think it's mad at way it's orbiting. Tracks thing. Craters from impacts just on the back. That's a really great question. No, that's not actually how it works. In fact, the far side of the moon does have a ton of impact craters, a lot more than what we see here. But it's very far away from us, and objects come through even between us very often. Most of the impacts that we see, though, came from the Great Bombardment period. Hey, not my Nelly, how's it going? Good morning. How you doing? Got an awesome channel, right? Yeah, I appreciate you. Cyborg, thank you so much. Thanks for the sub. I do appreciate that. Pretty late, yeah. It's 3:45 a.m. 3:45 a.m. You see 3i Atlas. I wish that we could pull it up right now, but it's already under the horizon. Underneath the horizon. As soon as we can, though, we definitely will. We'll do a live with 3i just as soon as we can, but right now it sets right after the sun does. Good morning, Aldo. How are you doing? Yeah, 3:45. What are we watching right now? The moon. Hanging out with the moon. Actually, a really beautiful view. Coming in really good right now. You believe it went Do you believe, or do you see it before it went under? I have not been able to capture 3i yet from my. Where's the American flag? I mean, there's several of them. You can get some from Walmart, Kmart, stuff like that. Local hardware store. Which city in the Central Time Zone? Kansas City. Thoughts on the YouTube? I'm not too sure who that is. Hey, from Scotland, it's 9:47. Hey, what's up, Gary? How you doing? We're in the United States near Kansas City. I'm inside my observatory, which is basically in my backyard. Really beautiful view. Yeah, Chief Kingdom, Red Kingdom over here. How much scope do you capture to capture this moon? The current telescope I'm using right now, this one here is in the current configuration somewhere around $8,000. You're in Kansas? Alright, nice. You're in Wichita, okay. I was born just south of there, down near Winfield. My hometown would be down near Winfield. 10:47 in Zombie. How do you got a full moon? What? How do you have a full moon? You ain't got no full. You crazy. And 2 rain today? Oh no, you guys got the worst. New Orleans, hey, what up? Saints and Tigers, Tony, what? How often do you go live? I try to go live every night. Honestly, try to go live every night in here. I'm new to YouTube though. This is a new side for me, but I'm excited to be here on YouTube, and hopefully we get live streams here on YouTube as often as possible. I'm hoping to be on every night as long as we don't have class. Hey Anda, how you doing? Ah, absolutely. No problem, D1. Let me on out in the paint to stare at the sky. I do love to start doing photography. Astrophotography is absolutely crazy. It's expensive. What time do you usually go live? It depends. Like this morning, it's 3:45 a.m. It's got to work. The clouds cleared up enough to really get a decent. Doesn't seem like anything is travel. Thousands of miles an hour, does it? Yeah, kind of does. It kind of does. You want me to turn off the mount? Watch how fast it moves. Can you make the UAP show? I wish it worked like that. I've never seen it. You can see the plasma ripple. There's no plasma on the moon. It's just reflection from the sun. The ripple effects that we do see come from atmospheric turbulence. Aloha from Hawaii. Aloha. Welcome in. Hey Maru, how are you? How's your day going? Yeah, you can get some what we call earth shine. Earth shine is the light that gets bounced off of our reflected again off them. Yeah, 3i is a very fast, it's a very high velocity comet. Thanks Daniel, appreciate that bud. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's a really beautiful view though. You normally don't get these kind of views. It's beautiful this morning. Hi Prachi, how are you? Makes you wonder how they pull it up. What's that? I mean, here's the thing, dude. I don't get into conspiracies. I really don't get into conspiracies. It's not the place to be. Yeah. So we don't have to worry any bit. No, we're good. All the signatures, tend to show that it a comment. Yeah, no problem, man. Watching from Fresno, California. Hey, Fresno, what's up? I got a buddy over in Patterson, good friend of mine. We're just hanging out with the moon right now. Yeah, we're really small in the universe. We really are small in the universe, but you know what? I think we're massive also. I think mankind, us humans, can be absolutely good people. We can also be horrible people, as we've seen. Yeah, the moon does have a little rust on it. Can you show the other side of the moon? The far side of the moon, you can look at it in photographs from like the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. China, Japan, India, Russia all took photographs of the far side of the moon. In fact, Russia was the first one to ever take photographs on the far side of the moon. It would have been Luna 3. Not that there's nothing that says confirmed life on Mars, but there's some evidence that we want to bring a rock back from Mars and study it here. We just got to figure out a safe method to get it back to Earth. You can get it from doesn't require it. Or Paz, what's up? How's it going? Everything going? Fake, is it? I mean, you can literally see the telescope. I can go out there and tap the telescope. See it move around. As real as it gets. You know anything about Apophis? Apophis being the asteroid that will make a return. Upload a video on Mars and Venus and Neptune. Dude, no way. That's awesome, Ollie. Super awesome. What telescope do you use? I mean, it's kind of in your name. Are you going to be able to try this 3i Atlas if it was possible? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, we will. It currently, it's a time that it actually is not where the observer actually focus on right after the sunset. Soon we will. Soon we'll be able to. Have you ever seen any light emitting from the craters? I have not. Change the thermostat here. It's getting way too cold out here. What soon? 3i. We want to be able to see 3i Atlas at Comet. Interstellar Comet. Imagine if people got to it. I mean, 12 people have. Is there tectonic plates on the moon? There are not. We still have moonquakes, but they come from a different effect rather than tectonic plates. In October, we'll be able to see it easier. Yeah, it'll be coming up. Have an amazing night, Daniel. Appreciate you, bud. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Io over by Jupiter. I can't get to Jupiter yet. Still way behind a bunch of trees. Ever ladder stolen before? Ever cursed? I mean, I'm sure you have. Are you suggesting that you're not good enough? It is a fake projection. Really? You think it's been projected up there for 3,000 to 6,000 years of its study? They say it's like a honeycomb. From when they crashed the lunar on it. And there's a couple of different things that make it ring a bell, but yeah, we definitely heard it. Lunar recon, or sorry, the lunar module land. Yeah, we definitely need more positivity. We definitely. It says, "Am I bigger?" Ton 618. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You're large. Can you get closer? Yeah, we'll zoom in for sure. Uh-oh, here comes a new band, and this dude getting probably booted out of here pretty quick. Look at this. Some people just got to be racist for no reason. Crazy. Let me help you out, man. Wow, why people got to be that way? Oh, and another one. No way. I don't know why people get. Yeah, there's no room. Everything's slow on my side, though. Not racist. Actually, I guess you can go with them. Guess we'll do it this way. Hit this word. Wow, this is crazy. There's no need for any of that. There's definitely no need for any. Can you zoom in on the flag? I cannot. I do not have equipment large enough. What's going on? Just hanging out the moon. Just hanging out the moon. What's up, B? How you doing? Good morning, bud. Good morning. Yeah, it's still important. Yeah, well, it's how something. How some people gotta be. Ah, no problem, man. Thanks for coming and hanging out tonight. I appreciate you. I'll turn the chat back on. Okay, let's see if that works. Of course not. Why would it? Yeah, they do. Make sure it goes. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. See if we can do that day. We'll turn it on for 1 minute. And hey, if you are new here, thanks for being here, by the way. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hopefully we don't have stuff like that happen. I'm not too sure how to exactly stop that, but I'm sure we'll get there. We'll figure it out. Yeah, absolutely. No problem. He's moving at 3 o'clock. What? How you doing, by the way, Vic? Morning to you. But right away, probably ask you more questions. Then you can think, dude, it's great. I love questions. Questions are absolutely awesome. Love questions. If moon was a clock, to the 3, the right side. Yeah, I wasn't looking up there. I'm sorry. I wasn't looking at the view. I missed it. You do this every day? I try to. This live footage, it is. This is a live view of our moon right now. Before the chat was cut off. Oh, here we go. Another one. Look at that. Another idiot. Gonna be a little too wild now. Imagine being that boring that you gotta make accounts and being that hate. Having that kind of... Apparently you ain't even got any friends. What's up, Alicia? How you doing? Good morning. Right in the center back. There we go. You think it's Madhouse specific the moon is in place? If it were closer or further away, it would be a problem. Law of average and make. I mean, here's the deal. It's going to get a little bit further away from us. In fact, it does every year. It's about 1.37 inches per year. Roughly about 1.437 inches. How do you live stream the moon? Just curious. Through the observatory here. So I have the telescope, which you see on the bottom here. On the back of it's a dedicated camera that gets added back into the control room, which then we push out through Streamlabs. Still don't understand how the light and shadows we cast makes. We don't really cast the light and shadows that we see on the moon. You can see a little bit of light that gets casted from Earth, from the reflection off of our atmosphere and hits the moon. We call that Earth shine. But what we're seeing is the light from the sun. Oh, I'm having to moderate by myself right now. Trying to get them as quick as I. I got everything. Yeah, but hopefully that got you. But Alicious, hopefully that answered your question as well. Yeah, some always have to ruin it for others. How people can be. I don't know why. What do you think Earth would be like with multiple moons? It depends. There's too many factors. Way too many factors. Size, distance. There's a lot of factors. And even in relationship to where our moons actually live. Hi, how's it going? Good morning. Hi, good night, Skyscraper. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. What's the coolest thing you've ever seen with your telescope? Ooh, that's a tough one, man. That's always a tough one because, like, right now, looking at the moon, look how crispy it is. Like, this is just insanely beautiful. But going from, like, something like this moon, looking at moons around other planets, the galaxy, stellar nurseries, that's too many. That's too good of a question to have a full answer. Showing the shadows so we can get some extra. Showing the shadows so we can we get some. What exactly do you mean? You want to look inside the impact crater? Is that what you're suggesting? Another moon would be beautiful. I do agree. If we think about planets like Saturn, for example, has 274 moons. Can you imagine looking out and seeing 274 moons? That'd be wild. That would be truly wild. Yeah, 270. Mars has 2. We got 1. Plus, we got quasi-moons, so we got 7 quasi-moons right now, which are just really small captured asteroids that are just temporary. Hey, Roman. It's a bit too much, yeah. The moon. Well, the day split into parts. That's a great question. The moon itself, our moon, let's just take our moon. Our moon actually slows down. Our time is slowing down over, I think, the period. But it just depends, though. There's still too many factors. How big is Saturn in comparison? You can put about 760 of our planets in it. That's massive. It's really massive. Or try and give some shadow, some dithering light. Yo, Mindy. Much for the sub. Appreciate that. Is this the closest you can be with your telescope? Oh no, we can really get in. It really, so the zoom comes to your IP camera you're using. Right now I'm using dedicated. But we could set up a area of interest, basically, or a ROI, so we'd be able to actually zoom. No ETs ever recorded. None in science. We haven't found life outside of Earth yet in science. Do you think it's mad that if you can find a place where gravity isn't in motion, then time technically, it's kind of true. Obviously, gravity's always in, though, right? No matter where gravity's in motion, but the higher the gravity, that affects your. Or those white lines, it's going to be ejecta, debris blown out during impacts. There goes space scientist. I am in planetary science. What makes the moon glow? The sun. Reflects about 12% roughly of the sunlight that it receives. Well, we see the diamond shape that protrudes out. Are you talking about a central peak inside of an impact crater? Mostly from asteroids, yeah. Most of the impacts are from asteroids, but you can also see impacts as well from comets. Is it true that it's made out of cheese? Cheddar cheese. Why is it glowing in different colors in different days? So sometimes it's stuff in our atmosphere, especially if you're in like the Midwest over towards like the Northeast, getting a lot of Canadian smoke or the wildfire smoke coming down from Canada, which gives it a different color, like that orangish color. We also see that when it rises up above horizon. We're looking through so much more atmosphere, and so it gives it kind of like an off color. But it's basically just pollutants in the air. Mountain ranges as well cast shadows. They make it have different colors, doesn't it? I mean, the shadows. We see the shadows from mountain ranges. But mostly, it kind of depends. When we're talking about color itself, usually it's basically what we're seeing here. Where the moon has some color, from turquoise to kind of a green color. And then obviously, basically what we're seeing. This is a live view, it is. Good morning. Thanks for keeping up with our questions. No problem. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. There's an atmosphere around the moon like Earth. Not an atmosphere, there's an exosphere, but not an atmosphere. That live footage, it is. You want me to go out and tap the telescope? Be able to see it move around? I know a lot of people ask that, but this is a live view of the moon right now. I can go out there and just tap it and you'll see the shaking and everything. You know, Chevy, thanks so much for this. Appreciate that. Might be a wild question, but how do you stay so grounded when you view planets millions of miles? I think that's a really crazy question, right? I think it's perspective. Because even though we're looking at planets here, we can look at something way, way out there, like galaxies are so distant, you're like, wow, that's crazy. But it's just the idea, like, I guess you just come to the realization. Light just go. Light travels further. Might be a weird question, but okay. I'm in the UK, 10:09 a.m., so I got the other side of the sky. Oh man, good morning. You got the clouds, so? You're in the UK, you probably got the clouds, huh? You're using a telescope. Yep, this is an 11-inch Schmidt screen telescope. Supposed to smell like, like gunpowder in a way. For what the, for what the moon. Where are we viewing from? Kansas City, Missouri. Used to be so curious, then that curiosity turned into, oh, okay. I wish I got you. That makes sense. You point your telescope at other. We do. We can actually go over to Uranus right now. Uranus is really close, or we can go look at a few stars even. What is the time moonlight takes to travel to Earth? About 1.3 seconds. You had Saturn scope the other day. Yes, I did. Last night we did Saturn. Las Vegas. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? How's everything going? Oh, you're in Seattle? Oh man, you always get the rain too, huh? Seattle, Washington. Look at that, two of you guys. Oh, what's up, Triple X? I see you. I gotta do all the translation again. I tried to translate everything last night, and that was kind of fun. Let me see if I can translate these. Have you ever done Neptune? Yeah, we do Neptune. It's really close to Saturn right now. Oh, you do planets too, and not just the moon. Hey, we go from the moon, sometimes the sun, planets, galaxies, nebulae, moons around planets, all kinds of wild stuff. Ontario, Canada, over yonder. What's up, Ontario? What about life on the moon? Nothing that we found yet. We have not found any evidence of life on the moon. Let's see if I can translate them. Oh, is this your job? Not this right here. Not specifically what we're doing. Do we only see one side of the moon? Yes, in a sense. We see about 59% though. We see roughly about 59% of the moon because of a process called libration. It's not a perfect orbit, so it's kind of like it gets really far out, and so the orbit, the way it orbits, weird view. One side, the other side, also see the top and the. So it's called Liberty. Now, there's nothing on the, or I should let's rephrase that. There's no such thing as the dark side of the moon. It's called the far side of the moon. Dark side of the moon. But the far side of the moon also receives sunlight. We haven't seen anything over there. Have you ever seen any change in the landscape of them? Nothing. Roughly, for large impacts, it's about once every 10,000 years. Will the moon ever be destroyed because of comets or asteroids? No, very unlikely. Very unlikely. Just found my favorite. Thought I did. Victor, that's crazy. Chilling in New Zealand with you. Hey, I appreciate you. Welcome in, by the way, Taylor. Glad to have you here. The Chinese rover on the far side. No, it's actually near the South Pole. So pretty much on the bottom, you see that weird little impact kind of on the bottom left side. You see lines coming a little bit more. So that's going to be Tycho. But just underneath that will be the South Pole. 1960. Oh, that's heard they put there's six. There's 6 of them from man, from the 6 different missions. But there's a lot more flags on the moon. The man flag, the flag they're stuck up. So right now, you can hardly see. You look on the top left side, that really dark shadow that's barely in there. There's like a big crater in the center, but that's going to be the Sea of Tranquility there, or the Apollo 11 mission. Now they're not shredded, but they're really kind of pale. They became really pale. There's a few of them that were knocked basically lifting back off. How come the moon has poles if it doesn't rotate on its own axis? It does rotate on its own axis. Switch on another planet? We will. Here in a bit, we'll swing over to Uranus. We'll do Uranus and look at a few cool things like Uranus, some stars, stuff like that. But it does actually rotate on its own axis, which roughly takes 27.3 days. When you look at a different subject, here soon, we'll swing over to Uranus here shortly. 2:14 a.m. Yeah, Beast time traveling. He's on the west coast, huh? Quick question: at night I see stars, but I see like stars in, what are they? Satellites. Usually satellites. Do any satellites get in your view? Yep, they do. 5:14 a.m. USA. It's 4:15 for me right now on Central Time. We'll talk to you a lot of funny stuff. Man, my bad. I think it's actually one of the things. The moon room. And the easiest way you can think of it is like if you hold like a can of Pepsi out in front of you and you spin, and you don't move anything, you hold it out in front of you, the 360, you always see the same side, similar to what we do with the moon. But if you have your friend stand by you and actually watch the can, they'll see it make that one rotation. That's similar to what we see with the moon. Very insisting, yeah. How come the craters are all the same depth, but they're different width? They're not. They're different depths. You can actually see that very well right now, just the difference in the depths. Now, take that in perspective. This is a very large moon, obviously. It's about a quarter of the size of our planet. So it's kind of hard to see the difference in depth, but you can definitely see the depth here. And it goes roughly from a grain of sand down to 7 miles. How many people walked on the moon? How many are alive? Well, there's what? 3 left right now out of the 12. And then there's one in the form of ashes on the moon. Shoemaker. Scientist Shoemaker is on the moon in the form of ashes. See if I can race. Go the right way. There we go. India just landed on the moon, yep. They have a lander on the moon. The other side is really impacted. It's crazy. There's a ton of impacts on the far side. Would you go on the moon if given the chance? I would go on the moon, but I don't want to be on a rocket. How strong is your telescope and how do you make it? It's a tough one. So there's 2 different things you can talk about. The useful magnification that you can use on it. So the useful max magnification, and the second one would be the useful magnitude. So how bright an object can pick up. Totally reminds me of City where it's glowing. Makes sense. Yeah, kind of does. These are just younger impact craters. We can actually zoom into them and then look at them a little better, but they're just younger impact craters where the radiation from the solar wind just haven't been able to dim them down just yet. Soon we'll have a direct transit link to the moon. It'd be pretty wild, right? There you go. Hey Chris, good morning. How are you? You see strange things on the moon? No, it'd have to be really big to be able to see stuff on the moon. It'd have to be really big, like 3-5 miles on a really good night. Good morning. How you doing, Chris? We want to zoom in a little bit. Let me know what you all want to do. Want to check out some impact craters? Even go look at other stuff. Either way is good with me. Zoom in. Intense. Let's get close. There we go. All right, let's find a new area of interest. Hopefully, you guys can see the square. It's kind of like how much we're going to zoom in. We can change it up a little bit, but I don't know, something like that maybe. Probably be kind of fun. Let's try it. I'll zoom in like that. See if I can find my mouse and what. If we threw in the other camera, we'd be a lot closer, obviously. But this works too. Using this camera with the view that we have right now is actually really beautiful. It'd be really nice to see with the other camera though. Dark. The back spot as well. Yeah, that's the Terminator line. Really gorgeous area. Let's see if we can get a little bit more light though. Bit dark, so I'll stretch out the histogram some. See if we can see that impact crater right there. How beautiful that is. See the central peak inside of it as well. Really beautiful. What causes the craters? Mostly impacts from asteroids, but also from comets. Or close to space elevator. No, I would never. Space elevator. Yeah, it's a beautiful telescope. Really, really nice telescope. We can actually stack this. Do a little stacking. And that'll give us like a high depth of the moon. It'll stabilize it a little bit better too. If we can. Right, like right here. Get some of the details are really. Stacking is just taking all the frames on top of each other. I can clean it too. And so you just get this really beautiful view. This is how you take like photography, like the moon, planets, or just do a little bit of stacking. That how the practically perfect circle. Or appear to be, in a sense. So like when you think about it though, if you go out to a lake or something and throw any size shape, rock or whatever, and you'll see the seismic waves come out, and they're usually perfect circle. That's kind of what we see here. Thanks, Taylor. I appreciate that. Yeah, the moon's stunning though. There's just real beauty with them. This is the Sea of Serenity that we see right here. Looks almost like a seashell in a way. What is the constellation in the horizon? The image below, that's Taurus. That's going to be the constellation Taurus. Yeah, we got a really cool moon. The lines are crazy, yeah. These are mountain ranges right here that you see in the center. In fact, right about in the center of the view. Let's see if I can get my mouse back up here. This is where Mount Huygens is, which is the highest mountain peak on the moon. Was here yesterday. The music isn't. I appreciate that. You say you were going to be looking all over the sky. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of. Have you seen anything crazy? If the moon was there, been there for billions, taking impact, why hasn't it naturally? It does. I mean, it technically does. Obviously, this is a very large. It's about a quarter of the size of, but it has been taking on impacts on. It's not as much anymore. It's roughly about one every 10,000. Most of what we see though comes from the Great Bombardment period. Anybody see like almost a face right here in the moon? On the impact craters right in the center. Yeah, make it straight. Make material strong. Nah, everything's in motion. Makes it the problem. What star scale are we looking at right now? This is roughly about probably about 1,800 miles, or sorry, 800 miles. Yeah, it does kind of look like it. There's going to be Copernicus right here. That's the thing. It's going to be Copernicus. This is going to be the Sea of Showers coming. Dark mass, and then on the top right, where it looks like a shark took a bite out of the white area, and that's going to be the Bay of Rim. Space junk at the left. All right, this is space junk. When you say space junk, I assume you mean like satellites, mostly in our, mostly here. There's only very. You believe it's hollow? No, we actually know it's not hollow. It has an iron. Looks like Kenny from South Park. That's fun. When I lived in Rochester, New York, they had. Oh, okay, Carl Sagan planet. I think we can do a little. Check out some of the impact craters. Sure, get pretty wild in this. The amount is wow, crazy. Why Elon Musk not going to the moon but Mars? He has to go to the moon, but I mean the goal is to get to Mars. It's truly the goal for. We've been to the moon, done it. It's time to get some. What's in that big crater? Central peaks. Those things in the center of them are called central peaks. Thanks, D1. Came back. What's up, Daniel? Came right back, huh? Yeah, those are called central. These are basically little mountains of impact. There's going to be the black cow on the moon. You guys want to see the cow on the moon? Let's see if we can dim it down just a bit. Maybe it'll be easier to see. The dark mass that we see is actually solidified lava, volcanic lava on the moon. I'm trying to find my mouth. There it is. So here's the head on the cat. You can see one ear, another ear over. Got an eyeball, neck comes down into the cat. You can see its feet, and of course it looks like a tail that comes right here. That's pretty cool. Getting to see the cat on the moon. And then if you look really, really close here, it almost looks like a fox right here. There's different things you can see on the moon, kind of similar to what we see with people that look at like clouds and find structures. The scientists named the crater. Yes, most of them are named. There's a lot of impact craters, over 100,000 impacts on the moon, and they're named now after astronauts. Why did it have reverberation when they struck it? Because there's not a lot of moisture in the core itself, or not the core, but the crust. There's nothing that baffles like what we have. Not an explosive. It wasn't an explosive that made it ring like a bell. We actually see that same effect whenever it has what are called moonquakes. We see the same effect. This is a video, or we actually see. This is through the telescope. This is a live view through the telescope. Here we can actually bounce around a little bit, and you watch the telescope. Watch as we go through. We zoom back out real quick. See the little Egypt. All right, and then let's go by Pleiades. Bunch of stars. Move the telescope. Same time, I'm going to turn up some brightness. We can start to see some of these stars as they come in. You guys see some of them? Try to get enough. See some of the stars. That's my daughter for the bunny, and she made it with the cool watch, or with the whole watch. Oh, the whole patch. Yeah, I need to be able to read this morning. So I can't see it just like that. I'd be like, oh, no way. I believe it looks like a Loch Ness Monster. It kind of does look like Loch Ness Monster. Have you ever tried to detonate some sort of change on the moon? No. We keep coming. Oh, it's solid. Yeah, it's solid. It has a really small core, though. It is a iron core, similar to what we have here, but it's a really small core. But here's some really cool stars if you guys want to know what stars look like in it. Hey, what's up, Thomas? How you doing? What causes red moons? It's going to be the like the UV light that passes through our atmosphere, and it reflects back off the moon during a total lunar eclipse. That's when we see a blood moon. Let's go down to Taurus. You guys see all those stars right there? Let me send the telescope. Go down towards Taurus a little bit. Look at some of the stars in this. So this is going to be the really bright red star that's in Taurus. Pretty wild. Get a little bit more light possibly. Out here. Cool. It's a really cool looking constellation. Ton of stars here. Interested in the core, or what is known. Is that why we're to the moon? The core don't have anything with it. It's just gravity. I mean, the core obviously and the effect of mass, so, but the gravity is. Let me try one thing. Can you see anything else than the moon, like different moons or something like that? Yeah, around planets. Here comes Uranus right here. That's going to be the planet Uranus. I see it kind of twinkling right now. Telescope needs to settle. It'll kind of calm down. There's the planet Uranus. Pretty cool, ain't it? Is that fully zoom? No, this is the magnitude of the camera itself. Sagittarius has a star cluster that we can see right now. Sometimes. It's kind of fun bouncing around. I don't like to get too far from it. Let me see if there's a good. Not that there's some open stuff. I don't know. Yeah, not a great. Gonna make me buy one telescope. That'd be awesome though. What's the closest star other than the sun you can zoom in on? The closest star. I can't tell you exactly the one right now. Obviously, Betelgeuse is coming right up, and then you have the dog star or Sirius would be coming right up. Like the little moons in Saturn. Yeah. Wait until you see Jupiter. So the 4 Galilean moons are stunning, like really beautiful. Some of my favorite for sure. Right now, though, they would see if we can even barely see. Let's swing over real quick. You see the trees on the bottom left. We're going to be pointing towards that direction. We may not see Jupiter, but it'd be cool if we can see something through. If we can get to come through it all. Most likely it's going to be trees. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Looks like trees. Like it's all trees. Let me swing. We drop our light back to. Otherwise, it's just going to hurt. Make it as dark as possible. Gonna make me buy one. I hope you're able to get one. Which way is 3i Alice? Can't remember what direction. What stars? Dark. I know there was a good direction. Right. Back up. Go. Alpha Centauri is the closest. Yep, it's the closest one, but I can't see it from here at my location. You got to be in the southern hemisphere. How visible is 3i Atlas? It's a magnitude 4. Let me look it up, bro. See what magnitude? Not very visible, but. Um, 15. Magnitude 15. Did you see Oumuamua? I did not. I personally did not. Going to be a peak. Going to be. I'm not too sure what the peak is going to be. We may get a little bit brighter, but it's not going to be super. It won't be super bright. let me give us a little brightness. See the moon. There we go. I heard we can't directly see the sun, right? We can with different filter. With filtration we can, so whether it's a white light filter or calcium, hydrogen alpha type, you can look at the sun. We may be seeing it upside down. What's that? Must have missed something on that one. Talking about 3i. Thanks, Maru. Appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, the moon. We see it in this orientation unless you're in the southern hemisphere. Then you look at a different orientation. Are they going to get pictures of Jupiter? Are they going to get pictures? I got to go back up, Chris. I must have missed something. Not too sure exactly what you mean. Why the moon's not moving? My telescope tracks these objects in the night sky. So put it. Let me see if I can put it. My telescope will track based off the RA and the DEC, and so this is what controls the telescope right here. And if I stop it from tracking, and then you're going to see Earth's rotation now. Yeah, it's kind of moving across. And if I hit the moon again, then we'll be back to tracking the object. Oh, 3i. No, it won't get close enough to Jupiter. It won't get close enough. Hopefully that helped you though. Hopefully you've seen how that kind of works. It's just all computerized, and this will just basically track different objects to the sky. With the moon, it has a set RA rate, which basically means moves to west. The telescope does. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, the master control. That's the master control right there. Lets us do everything. Of course, we can speed up our speeds and whatnot. So when you see me moving around the telescope, I'm basically buttons right. And try not to hit this button, because if I hit that button and I park the telescope, then you can see, and it gets a little wild and I can't do it. It's kind of whatever, and I got to start hitting a button. Yeah. Sometimes I don't pay enough attention. I start hitting wild buttons. I got to be able to grab it again. There we go. I think it's the only interesting live stream on YouTube I've ever seen. Dude, I appreciate that, Alan. Thank you. I do appreciate it. I know a lot of people come in, they got that question. Is this real? It's hard to really get a grasp on. Like, I got the telescope here on the bottom. I was hoping that helped a little bit. But the only other thing I can really do is go out and tap the telescope and just show the motion when I'm is 3i the reason everything is going crazy? No, it's just a comment. It's just a comment. You think there's any type of insect deep in the moon that they haven't found? I doubt it. I highly doubt it, because there's just not an atmosphere around the moon. Just take away the atmosphere alone, it's going to make it much tougher for it. There's not a lot of moisture. We know there's quite a bit of moisture on the moon, but not a ton of moisture on the moon. We find it in like silica, which is like a silica glass per se. We see a little bit of moisture in that. We also see ice water in some of the deep impact craters, especially near like the South Pole, where these areas are they never get sunlight at the bottom of them. They're super cold too. These areas get about like negative 410 degrees Fahrenheit. Really want to see something crashing on there. Wishful thinking. Yeah, one of these days. Like normally you got to be in like a crescent moon, whether it's waxing or waning. But you got to be in a crescent moon and then be looking at the side that's dark. And then at that point we get what's called earthshine. You can actually see the remainder part of the moon because of the light that bounces off our back and hits them. And that's usually when you can see like smaller impacts. Make a video on how you set up telescope for live streams. It's in the observatory. I actually don't have to set it up. It's just open up the observatory, the roof in the observatory, and then tell the telescope to take off and do its thing. Yeah, there's animals and insects can go for long, but we're talking about 4.5 billion. So we know that the craters are, but what are the white and gray streaks on the surface? The white gray streaks are going to be from the ejecta. The dimmer they are, the younger the object is. So the brighter it is, the younger it is. So when we see like the ejecta, those white streaks in the white impact areas, these are younger impacts. That's just fresh soil basically that hasn't been dimmed down from the radiation from the solar wind. So your telescope is linked to your PC and you control it from your computer. Yep, from here in the control room. Do they know how long the moon has had slight parts or water on? So it's probably had water probably from its formation period or very close to it. Very well could have also been from some of the impactors, so between the comets and the asteroids. So it's really hard to actually say exactly when it got water on it. Most of the impacts, though, I guess another thing we should say about the impacts is most of them we see here are from the Great Bombardment period. The Great Bombardment period was somewhere around 3.5 to roughly about 4 billion years. Are you in the control room somewhere, or is this just from your house? I'm in the control room, not the observatory, but it's behind my house, obviously. When they give it enough time for life to adapt its own way there? Nah, because there's just no oxygen. As far as we know, when it comes to life, oxygen is required. It's not necessarily true. You don't need oxygen for life, but life that you would expect to find on something like the moon, you would think that you need to have oxygen. Because there's not like there's boiling water or anything. I'm in the ISS. I must have missed something. What about the ISS? Atmosphere. On the moon, there's no atmosphere. There's an exosphere, but not an atmosphere. Thanks, Taylor. I appreciate it. Mercer is entirely in the bottom left, like veins, mountain ranges, impact damage, all the above, yeah. Octopus is something that seems like... Yeah, they do. Good point. Yeah, very good point. If we're going to talk like about life, the best candidates for life are going to be like on moons like Europa, which is a moon near Jupiter. Also think of something like Titan, for example, over near Saturn, which has a massive atmosphere. Do we know any, do we have anything on the moon working as surveillance? So there's some things on the moon that still have a little bit of camera. So take like India, for example, but most of the images and stuff that we from the lunar reconnaissance. And Claudius, yeah. What did China get back from the moon? Scientific data. I mean, that's kind of what you're asking. It's scientific data. What's really interesting is we say, like, what did China get? But truthfully, it's what did the science community get? It's what's the cool thing about space exploration is most of it's shared. For the most part, everybody's very willing to work with each other, no matter the thoughts, beliefs, and such. The cool thing is, don't become political; it becomes science. Can you see the ISS? If it's flying over, we'd be able to if it's flying through. If the moon were to magically disappear, would the impact Earth's rotation and or orbit in relation to the sun or other planets? We would probably speed up in rotation over a long period of time. Our biggest problem is we'd wobble. We'd have a massive wobble. So it'll mess up a lot of stuff. Like, do we know a lot about China? We know quite a bit about it. It's like how many? Yeah, absolutely, I agree. So can you estimate the diameter of the one of those craters on the left? Yeah, the one that's like really, really visible. Let me put it here real quick. This is probably my favorite impact crater on the moon. But this is Tycho. This one right here is Tycho. This is named after Tycho Brahe, a Danish astronomer, and it's roughly about 63 miles wide, 2.5 miles deep, 108 million years old. Yeah, it's all for humanity. Absolutely. I just lost my mouse. Where is my mouse? Oh, there it is. I do that all the time. I always lose my mouse. Your live stream with the set time? No, it depends on what's above us and if the clouds or not. Yeah, the ISS whips by really fast. How powerful is the telescope? It's an 11-inch SMIC screen. I think a lot of things come up too. It's one of the questions that came up is I mentioned like 108 million years old. We're talking about a Tycho impactor, and what's crazy about that is you can say 108 million years old, but the cool things are you can see how bright things are. And there's the ejecta lines, for example. We know roughly the gets impacted on average about once every 10,000 years. So there's a lot of cool things we can do. We can look at the ejecta, see how much impactors there are, how much debris goes through it, and just even how bright it is, how much time has it subsurface. Compared to being on the surface, right? So we can see how much it dimmed down from the effects of the solar wind. Is anyone on the ISS right now? Yes. Click on the channel. Hey, I appreciate you, Big. Glad to have you here. Definitely glad to have you. And if you are new here, make sure you hit the sub button if you guys want to see kind of how things. I'll try to give it. How the 11-inch telescope here near Kansas City, Missouri. When can we see colonies on the moon? Good question. That's a good question. I don't have the answer for it. No artificial gravity yet. Nope. Gravity itself is from mass. Don't even think a sports camera is going to pick up the ISS. It's pretty tough. This telescope can track the ISS, so what you do is you take a video and then you can stack the ISS and get like a decent photo. Yeah, I appreciate you, Victor. Honestly, thank you so much, bud. I appreciate it. And Greg as well. Thank you so much. Spinning sphere it is. Yep, it does spin. It rotates on its axis. It takes about 27.3 days to make that rotation. One full rotation. It's gravitationally locked to us, or tidally locked, but we call it synchronization rotation. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate you, bud. Honestly, thank you. Patience, yeah, thank you so much for this. Appreciate that. I want to see where. I want to see how high is the big thing. Let me see if I can find it. Go ahead. You may be able to see it. Let's see if we can see it real quick. Let me swing over to the Great Orion. See if we can see it. It'd be really fun. Alright, 3, 2, 1, whee! Press sky we go. Turn up some brightness here as well so we can see what we see when we get here. Oh yeah, it's starting to come in. Let's see if I can pull it up. The Great Orion Nebula is stunning. You can see it right here. There's going to be some nebula area. This is a stellar nursery where new stars are being formed. We'll have to put it in color. We can really just make out just how stunning this area actually is. You guys see the nebulosity around it? Hopefully there's enough light. Right now we're in mono, by the way, which is black and white. You see the nebulosity around that? Is Jupiter visible at the moment? Still behind trees. Surprised I don't have 1,000 subs yet. Hey, I just started on YouTube. I am new on YouTube. What's the most powerful telescope on Earth? Oh man, that's always it's too subjective. Honestly, it's too subjective. What's power? Because what you do with the telescope, I think, is what makes it powerful. So you can have super small. Oh man, the Vera. Oh my goodness. And now that we're talking about powerful, that's probably it. But at the end of the day, you can have a really small telescope and it's going to be powerful. You guys want to swap over to color real quick? Check this out in color. Let me put us in RAW 16 RGB, and we'll start to see some of the coloring here. I want to take a photo too. Really make out some of the colors. Check that out. How crazy cool is that? Again, this is a stellar nursery. This is where new stars are being formed. The Webb Space Telescope is amazing. James Webb's awesome. Yeah, so Vera is just insane. Vera's super wild. Yeah, look at that. Ain't that crazy? We can actually do something even better. Let's do this. I'm taking 2-second photos right now. Let's take an 8-second photo. So basically what I'm saying 2 seconds or 8 seconds, just how long does the camera leave its eye open to capture light? And so the longer it does that, the more light we capture, obviously. And if we do something like that, let me pull down some of the gain a little bit so it's not super bright. And then I'm going to make sure we don't have any hot pixels on here, which are basically that red, blue, and green little dots you end up seeing on the camera. I'm going to turn that on, and then we will disable the histogram. And then we'll stack it real quick and just see a really cool view. The Great Orion Nebula. We'll get to see how just amazing it can be. Let me align the colors correctly, get the brightness set up correctly. Check out how it's coming through. Ain't that amazing? Just some of the details in there. And every time it takes a photo, it's going to give us a better image. That's just super cool. What's the magnification right now? Ooh, we're not that much. We're probably pushing somewhere around 100 or so. We're not too much. The kinetic energy in that nebula. Yeah, it's insane. There's a lot going on here. There's a ton going on here, especially if we because we got the moon, so it's going to be hard to get photos here. But let me kind of give us some more light. You can see a lot that's just going on in here. There's so much. This is a stunning, stunning area of the sky. And we'll go back. Let me take it out of the stack here. We'll go back to more of a live view of see kind of how crazy this area is. So this is running pretty fast now on the camera. Let me give it some more light. You can see how crazy that is, like how bright it is. Insane, ain't it? Yeah. Dark spots, dust. Most of it is dust, yeah. A lot of it's dust. There's a lot of hydrogen around the Great Orion, which is that reddish. It kind of came as like pink, I think, on your guys' side, but the reddish area. Then you can see blue, and then you see a lot of the helium side. What got you into space stuff, or was it something you always were into? When I was 8 years old, I remember Dad got a telescope for the family, and that kind of did it. I became a firefighter at the age of 18, and from there, I continue on through my education. Now I am where I'm at. Yeah, just a beautiful area, though. It's super beautiful. You guys want to get back to the moon, though? Wing back to the... We may be able to come back and check out stuff like this, but roughly in about 3-4 more days, and we'll do a little bit more deep space stuff. We'll do some more stuff about like galaxies and nebula. Alright, let's go to the moon. On our way! We make sure we don't have too much light, though. It's a little crazy when we get too much light. Here comes the moon. And we're going to go back to RGB, sorry, to Mono. Mono lets us actually pull from the camera a lot faster, where you can see here there's a little bit of a skip because I can only get about 6 to 7 frames per second. So going into Mono, then we get a lot more frames. Gives us that more of a video quality. Yeah, I was a firefighter EMT. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. If you are new, make sure you do sub. I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy the things that we do here. From doing this to looking for meteors or you know, meteor shower shooting, to doing deep space type stuff or looking at planets and stuff. Pretty fun. You're in Kansas, so I hope you'll be able to check it out. Dude, that's awesome, Steve. I appreciate you. That's super awesome. There we go. Wow, and it's just stunning tonight. The moon is just gorgeous. Gotta love these phases when a lot of these impact craters are just high def because of the difference in the shadows and the light, and it just makes them pop. Remember, my dad got me on Two Brothers telescope. It was 1983. That's great. That's super cool. That is super cool. Almost 6 a.m. in North Carolina already. Oh, good morning. Morning to you. Hold down. A bit high. Is the bottom camera messing with you guys? I can move it off the screen if you guys. Hi, have a good night, Richie. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. I do appreciate it. It looks like the light speed effects in sci-fi space. That's funny. Yeah. Right now we're running roughly about 19 frames per second, or basically, to put it in concept, like whenever you're playing a game, especially most people know how game, but the FPS is how fast does the change, right? So when we talk about movies, it can be somewhere up to like 60 frames per second, sometimes higher to the definition you're watching. We see somewhere around 7 frames per second. And this is running right about 19 frames per second. Thanks, I appreciate it. Honestly, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm moving up just a bit. Yeah, it's a gorgeous view though. I was really worried that we were going to have clouds all night. Not getting. Here we are. Nice crystal clear. and your family look at the moon? Not really. Usually it's a me thing. Sometimes my son, he's 7 years old. Sometimes we go out and look up and enjoy the view. Thank you, Bleed. Appreciate it. Thank you. I think it's pretty fun because you guys get to come in and actually hang out, look at the stuff like this with me, and it's free. It don't cost anybody anything, and I think that's what's amazing about what we do social media. Here to be able to answer the questions, show the love that we have. How much it cost for the whole setup? Oh, dude, the observatory and so much. I don't know, somewhere around 35,000. Pretty expensive. It's expensive. There's 16 telescopes here. What's up, Alex? How you doing? Range reflector so far. Hopefully getting an 8-inch knob soon. Oh, dude, that'd be super awesome. That's super awesome. You gonna try to get a computerized or just a manual moving one? Knobs are a lot of fun. They're a ton of fun. It is nice to chill with just a group of people and talk about or look at stuff outside the current room. Yeah, I agree, 100%. Sometimes you got to get away from the things going on and relax, right? Sometimes you just have to. It's been a pretty rough week for sure. Just a menu one. Okay, motorized are pretty. They are. The 8-inch Dobsonians, man, 3,000 probably for a motorized one. Yeah, they get pretty expensive. Cool thing is, used telescopes. You can find some decent used telescopes out there. That's probably what I would suggest to do, is look for a used one. Could be evidence of life on Mars, yeah. That was back in 2021 though, when that was spotted. It's just now kind of making news, but it's like 2021 when that was spotted. That's pretty crazy, ain't it? You start looking at old data and like, whoa, what did we just kind of mess up on? What did we miss? But yeah, pretty wild. I never get too excited. It's really hard. Think about this rock. Now we got to figure out how to get it here to Earth. And obviously, we can get it. It's just going to take a while. Hey, what's up, Jessica? How you doing? There's a very large astronomy community in my... Really? Just something around. Maybe, yeah, I mean, I get that. I get that. Mom doesn't like, I get that. That's sad. All good. Just being here and hanging out. I think that's a lot of fun. Grandfather was a World War II pilot. And just to show had me find constellations and starry nights in the North Carolina mountains. Dude, that is so cool. That is super awesome. Why is our moon just a moon when other planets' moons have proper names? Ours does have a proper name. It's Moon with a capital M. If you're Spanish, Luna, and so on. But Moon is the name of our moon with the capital M. Want to know about TWA flight? Want to know about TWA? I don't know anything about TWA flight 800. Yeah, it's Moon though. Our beautiful moon actually gets the official name of Moon in English, obviously, and Luna and so on. Mon, a lot of names out there, obviously, but we call it Moon. Oh, and JFK on flight bound. All right. Have you ever seen a UFO? I have not. I know that's a boring answer. I know that comes off super, super boring, and I know people don't like that answer, but honestly, I haven't. And the cool thing is, we actually, here at the observatory, we even have a all-sky camera that runs 24/7. So if you ever, even if I'm not here, it could be cloudy, it may not be cloudy, but you can go to skieslive.com and see our website, and there's an all-sky camera on there that updates every 10 seconds. So you can see kind of what's above us. If you went right now, you would see where the moon's located, where the telescope's pointing, and where other objects are in the sky above us. Yeah, I know what. Okay. You're talking about the one that looks like a spine, right? If I remember right. I think you're talking about the one that looks like. There's still a lot of research to do on that as well. Remember, we always come up with a bunch of wild stuff. That's a fun thing in science is until we have it and can observe it, we get excited about some of the smallest things. And I think you're talking about the one that looks like a spine, right? Because of short circuit or wing fuel tank and explosion. Dang, that sounds tough. Like the roast tail tip. Oh, I missed something. What's that? I think that's what you're talking about. Or something. The one that looks like fine. Have you seen a meteorite hit the moon? I personally have not. You think the world's a simulation? Man, I feel bad for you, dude. Honestly, feel bad for you. I think we live in an amazing environment that, unfortunately, there's a lot of bad characters, obviously, but you think you're in a simulation, man. I feel bad for you. I really do. Oh, seeing a meteor crash on the moon? I know. A lot of people would love to see that. I think the last one that I can remember is Japanese astronomer catching it. I think 2023, if I remember right. One side always faced us. Yep, because its orbit is synced with ours. It's not quite synced with us. It keeps up with us because of gravitation effects, right? So it orbits around us. It's orbiting the same as us. Obviously, we orbit the sun, where the moon orbits us. It's an elliptical orbit. We see one side because of gravity, though. It's tightly locked to us. Was able to view Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn over the last 2 weeks. Venus was nothing exciting. I was able to see 2 of the Jupiter's moon rings. Dude, that's crazy. With Jupiter, you got to either use a filter or like turn a lot of brightness down. It's so hard to observe. It's massive carbon dioxide atmosphere. It makes it so hard to observe. You think anything is a simulation, son? Dude, again, I feel bad for you. What's up, Derek? How you doing? Good morning. Love to see Saturn rings. They aren't actually rings, right? It's a bunch of rocks crumpled together. So mostly ice and small rocks. It's easier to probably say ice chunks and dust. What's the most interesting thing that you've seen while observing space? Everything that I observe. Honestly, I find enjoyment in everything. I think there's a way to be positive, and that's definitely one of the things to do is be positive when you're viewing something like this, because we got an amazing moon. I think about a lot of things, especially when I look at the moon. Think about our ancestors, even that looked at the same object that we're looking at now. Really crazy. Yeah, Venus is really. Have you had better luck with filters? Yeah, absolutely. You want to use filters with them. That's Asha. How you doing? Good morning. That ring's made out of gold. I wish they were made out of gold. That'd be super cool. Make sure I got all the questions above. I think I did. Tomorrow night we may be able to start out with Saturn. It'll be a lot earlier, obviously, than right now. It's 5 a.m. for me, and tomorrow night, probably about 12:30 or so in the morning Central Time. If it is blurry because there's so many AI videos and images, yeah, that loses the magic. I agree. Yeah, 100%. I think AI is one thing that's going to confuse way too many people. We live in the time of AI that it just, yeah, it makes it really tough. Hey, have an amazing night, Juno. I appreciate having you here. Honestly, thank you so much. We see Venus not up where I can see it right now. I appreciate it, Maru. Honestly, thank you. Is that Uranus? Nope, this is the moon. Sorry, guys. From the image on the screen right now, is the moon moving slowly to the left or right? To the left. In my view, to the left. If the moon vanished, what would happen? A lot of things would happen that we do know of. For example, we'll be wobbly. We'll start to get really wobbly. Our season will get all messed up. The ocean's waves would be on, and they would be massive. We'd see waves on average like 60. It'd be tough. We wouldn't want to have it. We definitely would not want to have that. Whether people would be still around or not, that's a different story. We don't know. Honestly, don't know the answer to that. So it's hard to say. Would it take out man? We want to zoom back in? Oh, thank you. Taylor, thank you so much, bud. I appreciate it. All these little things that make life work. Makes you think, yeah. We'll find a better way to persist somehow. Yeah, I would agree. I personally would agree. I think somehow, I think we would. People in general are very intelligent. Yeah, very resilient. That'd be a good way to say it. I'm just kind of looking at the stars right now on the bottom camera. Just thinking how beautiful this morning already is. We go underground, build vaults made by Vault Tech. There we go. Hey, Kate, good morning. Green tide, so there's be massive zombies. It'd be pretty wild. It would definitely be wild. I don't know that we would all be gone, though. It's hard to say. It would reach civilization level 1. I doubt that. I highly doubt that. The one problem we have as mankind, sometimes we get too caught up in our feelings. And I think that hurts us, is get too caught up in the feelings. Alright, thanks Alex, appreciate it, man. Have a good night. Clear skies to you as well. Is the moon a piece of Earth? The rock samples they took showed the basalt rock at the bottom of the ocean are the same as the moon. Yeah, it's roughly about 96% of the same isotopics. And that would come back to the Great Impact Theory. Or I should say the Great Impact Hypothesis that moved to a scientific theory. So our best belief is that it came from an impact from object about the size of Mars. We call that Theia. Are you live every night or morning? I try to be. As long as we don't have clouds, I'll be live here. Aloha from Hawaii. How's it going? Good morning. I guess it's still nighttime for you though, huh? Let's see if we can see Jupiter behind the trees yet. We're gonna be fighting trees, but it's possible we may be able to see something, but maybe not. We'll see real quick. Let's go over and find out. Midnight for you? Okay, I got you. The moon's like our little sibling. I mean, in a sense. Hey, I'm in Kansas City, Missouri in the United States. 4 a.m. for you? Nice. 5 a.m. Alright, let's go check and see if we can see Jupiter yet. Just a little bit more light. Get some stars go through sometimes. We get a bright enough star anyways. I see Jupiter. Very important. Yep, nice. There's Jupiter. See Jupiter and 4 Galilean moons right now. Guys see that? There's going to be Ganymede, Io, Callisto, and Europa. Callisto will be the one on the far bottom right. Looks like Ganymede's the 3rd one down from what I can see. There's what Jupiter looks like with this wide field of view. How crazy cool is that? See if I can pull out some light on Jupiter itself. Ooh, gotta zoom in. Jupiter's a really, really beautiful target to go for, especially when we put in the other camera on the telescope. Let's zoom in just a bit. And pull out some light. The trees are gonna make off this. I want to see if I can see some of the band. Kind of hard to see, really. Get some more lighting. You see those moons closer. Kind of how they look. This is like my favorite planet to look at when it comes to moons. down a bit more. There we go. Ain't that crazy cool? How long are you going to be streaming for? Just a bit longer. Who's in the Hey Stacey? Welcome in. Yeah, it's really cool how they're lined up right now. They're stunning. Io moves really fast too. See transit with Io all the time. It's super cool to see it transit with Io. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Stunning view of Jupiter. Is it late for me? It's yeah, it's 5:08. Jupiter felt certain. They need a lot more mass. Need a ton more mass, like 80%. Sorry, 80 times the amount of mass to become even close to what a black dwarf star would be. Or sorry, a brown dwarf star. They need a lot more mass. Those are really beautiful, though. You normally wake up early then? No, not normally. It depends on the night. It really just depends on the night. Let's see here. If we did a little bit more focus, we'd probably start to see banding, but I don't want to focus too much because we're focused on the moon right now. It's gonna be me. Yeah. Jupiter's pretty crazy. Jupiter tends to slingshot stuff at us. It's a frenemy. How long are you gonna? How long are you live? I don't know. I used to be live for like 8 hours a night. So I'm still trying to consider, like, do I want to keep doing that or keep it a little bit last lifetime? Yeah, Jupiter rings are aligned horizontally. Pretty cool. Yeah, Jupiter's rings are really. Jupiter has amazing rings. Can you get an even better picture coloration? Yeah, we can. Let me actually go to the color side too. We're in mono right now. It'll look a little bit better with the color version. Whether we can see the rings, it's going to depend on a lot of factors. Or not the rings, but the bands right now. It's going to depend on. Let me try to put on my. I'm starting to see them actually. It's just we're way behind trees and need to focus a little bit. If I can zoom in here too, you guys can see the bands a little bit. You start to make out the bands on it. I gotta find my mouse again. Oh, I always lose my mouse. There it is. I don't know if you guys can see them okay or not. Theory of the sun during started, people are talking about lighting up for a secondary sun. Yeah, it wouldn't work. Wouldn't have a chance. We don't have enough energy to do that. You get an even better picture. I got that. No, it slingshot stuff at us. We used to think that it. See how it's going behind a tree. We used to think that Jupiter protects us, but it's quite the contrary. Tends to slingshot stuff. It's a frenemy. Alright, let's see here. Zoomed in again? Maybe. Where'd Jupiter go? Find my mouth. Pick up. Let me reset it then. Where it went. Oh, there we go. Back to that view. You get a better picture? Who said that? Picture. Oh, eventually we'll get a better view. Eventually we'll get a better view. It's still way behind for us. Way behind. We're probably roughly about a month away and we'll do some really cool Jupiter views. Are there home telescopes you can get a great close-up image of? Not real. Our atmosphere. Alright, let's get back to the 3, 2, 1. We're actually going to go to the other side of the pier, so you'll see the telescope. Right now it's on the west side of the pier, and we're looking east. Now we're going to go to the east side of the pier and look back west. Right, and again, I should also mention this. Another thing that why we can't Jupiter so well is we don't have the right camera set. Carlos that we're doing stuff like looking at Jupiter. Yeah, we are spinning around. We're on our way over. Now we just got to find the moon. Turn this to auto. Get a little bit more brightness. See where it's located. Not too far. Let's go. I'll speed it up. Kind of move. You're off just by a little bit here. I'll dim it down a bit. Hopefully we're close. Yeah, we're pretty close. Here comes the moon. Still really bright though. That's better. There we go. How about that? I'm guessing that we're great at home. I mean, you're going to see them. They'll look like blue dots, though. Essentially what? And let's see if I can. Not too terribly far, so. I think we're on this side. Saturn and Neptune are right behind. Like anything else. If I can hit. We'll see. Check. Get enough brightness. Then we can see Neptune, Neptune, which is really close to Saturn. If we can see Saturn, we should be able to. I'm gonna guess way far behind. I feel like I see. I think it's behind. Oh. I think I just seen it. Here. Wait, are we zoomed in? We are not. Okay, not zoomed. Yep, there's that. Saturn's pretty cool. Obviously, not set up. Really. There's Saturn. What Saturn looks like. Right, Neptune. What moon is that we can see? That was a star. That was a star above Saturn. There'd be Neptune right there. Little tiny dot would be Neptune. So if we zoom in on it here, and then we'll give us color again. Let me change over to color so you got the coloring. See the blue? Pretty cool, ain't it? Let me pull out some of the game. Not crazy, and then we'll just take a better exposure. We'll do like a 4-second. Thanks, Emily. Appreciate that. I'm gonna go do something, but I can't stop watching the stream. It happens. That does happen. Alright, let me zoom in a little bit. well. There you go. Kind of see what it looks like on Neptune. Remember too, we are behind trees, like right on the edge. So you'll see it kind of like fade out and come back in. Pretty cool. And then go back up. Are there even greater telescopes if we're at home to view Neptune than your current setup? I mean, if you want to get something like an 18 tops, wouldn't be too bad. You don't mind going like expensive. Then yeah, like probably like an Dobson. Good area to get. Click. Let me click one. It's gonna be kind of fun. Let's see if we can swing for 2 here. Let me turn us to our mono again. This will be okay. No, you're at the yeah, you definitely will. It'll be alright though. You'll enjoy it. It's a little bit more light. See if we can get enough stars as well. It's gonna be a little bit harder to get to, so we're gonna try it though. We're gonna plate solve. Plate solve is a way to take a picture, and it'll determine based off of the stars that we're currently looking at compared to what we want to see, and it'll just kind of move the telescope a bit for us. But can you see Uranus? Yeah, absolutely. All right, here we go. And we were up 0.57 degrees. So watch this. This is really cool. All right, see that little area right in the center? Can anybody guess what we're looking at right now? They do actually move position in our perspective. They do quite frequently. Let me take it at 8 seconds. Your personal. Anybody starting to make it out yet? Getting an idea of what we're seeing? Let me stack it. Stacking kind of fun. Not the Magical Quad, no. We'll stack it real quick and hopefully it'll look. Wow, some of the brightness. We still got to fight with the moon. We'll start to see it a little. We're looking at the Andromeda again. This is going to be the core of Andromeda. If you look underneath the core, that bright area, you'll start to see one of the dust lanes coming through from left. Pretty cool, ain't it? It's a massive galaxy, though. This is almost like looking at 3 full moons. It's crazy. Really a beautiful area. I like looking at Andromeda. It's just a wrong telescope. We're way too zoomed in for something like Andromeda. Alright, let me speed the camera back up and then we'll swing back over the moon. Then you're anticipating refinancing my house today. Depends on your set, obviously. It really just depends what you want to do. Like I have an observatory. Ooh, flashbang guys. Sorry. I'm sitting inside my observatory, which is here in my backyard. I guess it depends on how far you want to go. Hi Tim, how you doing? Alright, now we're zoomed in. There we go. Yeah. It's a roll-off roof observer. I don't know if you can see like down in the view down there, that white over there on the bottom right, that's the roof. So it's on the cable system, electronic cable. Can you do the color thingy? We can whenever above the tree. The moon's flat, just like, dude, I think your brain's probably flat. What's up, Chris? How you doing? Everything going? If you can't tell that the moon's a spherical object, but like here, I don't know what to. Would I be able to see Neptune? Oh no, that won't ever. You won't ever see. Can you see 3i Atlas? No, it's above the, or it's below the horizon. currently below the horizon. Out all my. Want to go there? So, it'd be a really cool destination. Definitely be a. Do it. Go to the moon. What do you guys want to see? Anything cool? Anything from them? Or do you guys want to go? Look at Orion again, the Great Orion Nebula, Stellar Nursery. That was really cool. Depends on you guys. What do you guys want to do? UFOs would be kind. I've never found one. Never found one. It'd be awesome though. Whatever happens. What if it has their telescope? Has or something. Right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Saturn's rings. It's getting behind the tree lines for us. But tomorrow night, hopefully, we'll start out with Saturn tomorrow night. That is kind of the game. It's hard to do like and because of the nice program. It really is. Yeah. Really exciting. The moon. The moon this morning. See the moon sky right now. Hey. You can't even use it. You're probably, if you are seeing the moon, looking. It's live though. I can actually go on. I can point my camera at it. Hey Jory, how you doing? Yeah, get it down. That's how they always are. Yeah, I mean you can. You can live stack stuff like Neptune, especially when it's like and it's decent. You just don't get like, you know what I mean? Celestron makes wonderful telescopes. This is a Celestron right here. The one we're currently using. Celestron. I think I have 5 Celestrons here in the observatory. They make wonderful telescopes. Yeah, it is. 2 new cars. I just bought over 27,034. How many telescopes? I have 16 telescopes here. Imagine in the future everyone has a mini telescope in their hand all the time. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I get sent a lot of telescopes for like This is the largest one that I have. McCaskill, the large telescope. There comes an issue where sometimes if you get too big of a telescope, you most likely won't use it. It becomes like a dust collector. So usually what I recommend when people get into telescopes is don't go like crazy and get the biggest one, because they are heavy. They're really heavy. My mount alone is about 60 pounds. The telescope's another 47 pounds. You just keep adding on, and they're super heavy. Like obviously I can bench press quite a bit because they're just really odd to carry, and when you get that much weight in those type of objects, it's really nervous. Are they all being used? Quite a bit of them do. Quite a bit of them do get used. There's some I don't use though. How's it possible to see so far away from the galaxy that we can see Neptune indeed? But we can't see because Neptune's much smaller than like galaxies. When we consider, like, for example, Andromeda Galaxy, 2.5 million light years, compared to something like Neptune, which is like 2. Oh, man, just lost my mind. How far? 2.7 billion miles away? Is that close? 2.7 billion compared to 2.5 million light years is massive, like a massive difference. But we talk about the planet Neptune, for example. It's a really small target. It's really small compared to even our galaxy, and the galaxy, which is a little bit bigger than ours. It's all about the size. Even then, we don't see things in great detail that are super far away either. Is the moon? It's a Honda. Nice, dude. That's funny, John. Yeah, that's super funny. Sorry you got banned on YouTube. Glad you got it back. Other platforms don't give them back if you get banned. Mars, I haven't done Mars. Wow, it's been a while since I live streamed Mars. It's been 4 or 5 months ago. Been a minute. The moon's translucent. Except we brought rocks back from it. And we don't see through it. You see any stars behind it? Come on, man. Is that a cheat? That's craziness. The moon rocks are fake. Kind of like a brain. Our moon definitely ain't translucent. I don't even want a possibility of that. Yeah, I appreciate it, Emily. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. You guys want to do a little bit of Orion again? Go check out Orion one more time. Never been to. You just really look for attention, don't you? You can't even get a profile picture, bro. You gotta try better, man. Gotta try better. Alright, let's do it. Let's go to the other side of the sky again. Get us a little bit more light. Actually, let me even change this to color since we're gonna go to Orion. What we watch for right now, we're going to go to a nebula. It's actually going to be a stellar nursery where new stars are actually born. But this is going to be the Great Orion Nebula. On our way around. We slow down the camera and get a little bit more light to come through too. Enjoy this series of the solar system with Brian Cox. Okay, let's still watching it live because it does. I do agree. I think watching live sometimes you get that difference feelings. Here's a really maxed out brightness. You can see some of the stars were sometimes kind of wild. Let me take a picture real quick and then we'll try to get us a little bit closer to where we want to be. Down, and... Alright, here we go. Speed of light. Yep. Globetrotter did not support this aspect ratio. Here it comes in. Let me speed up the camera again one more time. Get it settled down. And you'll see some of the, let me give us some brightness though. Not crazy brightness, obviously. But just enough to be able to see the nebula. Oh, it's still. That's how bright this target is. You can actually see Great Orion in a pair of binoculars. Take photos with your, even your DSLR or mirrorless type camera. They don't want to hear the truth. Nah, dude. Don't want to hear the truth from you. Well, some people who just gotta kill the vibe. I know they do. They always try. They think they're cool somehow. Favorite mill also occurring. Wild. But here it is, the Great Orion Nebula again. Let's take a photo. If we can do like 8-second photo, probably be good enough. Here we go. Really beautiful area. Super, super beautiful. I'm gonna pull out some of the brightness though. Get a little better. Hopefully. Just beautiful. I think the coloring here is amazing. It's a one-shot camera, so it's a little bit more of a reddish color. Like it shows up in YouTube blue per se, or sorry, not blue, but pink. But it's a little bit more of a reddish and a bluish color compared to the pink and green. See that comes through. Really, really beautiful. It's a cloud of dust, yeah, dust, gases, mostly hydrogen and helium area. I think the Earth is the center of the universe. But I think you think yourself is the universe, dude. Help you out. Yeet. Yeah, really stunning. There's two different stellar nurseries here, by the way. Two different regions that are forming new stars. Yeah, Orion Nebula. Good morning, Dobbs. How you doing? So this is stellar nursery here, and you also have a stellar nursery here. So these are two different regions where the new stars are being. Yeah, that's really truly cool view. I always like getting the Orion Nebula. So much going on here. Have you seen dragons? No, I have not seen dragons. A teacher when I was like 5 years old. Thought the Earth was. She got fired the next year. Good. She probably thought she was in the universe. We're trying to view the Horsehead this winter. Oh, that'd be awesome. Horsehead's stunning. I really like the horse. Really, really. Another one. Let's see if I can get. We're gonna go over just a bit. So we got the Flame Nebula really close. Slow down there. Over to where I'm gonna telescope settle down a bit. Try to take another picture. Not sure which. Oh, for the honestly, like broadband. Broadband would be. So here's the Flame Nebula. I know it's kind of harder to see. Let's see if we can stack it. If we can stack it up just a bit. Hi, Manny. How you doing? Good morning. You guys kind of see the red coming through. I know it probably looks more like pink on. The moon's going to make it a little bit tough, but there's the Flame Nebula. Hi, Ken. Good morning. Kind of make it out. Yeah, slight pinky. I get my map again. Right about here. Look better before. It's kind of hard to get the Flame Nebula with the in its position. OBS Studio or what kind of multiplex? I use Streamlabs desktop. Streamlabs desktop. Let me come out that. You can kind of see it here as well. This is a 8-second photo. Not 8 seconds. We're taking 8-second photos right now. Speed the camera back up. Horsehead Nebula. Really, really. Move back. Right over here. A bit more light. Ryan again. Beautiful. I did enjoy Orion. The chance. gorgeous. Put it on a side. Got a World War II binocular that helps. It's always a good thing, but don't say you're getting for new binoculars. No way. Um, hopefully I got one. Like best purchase of my life. Getting it. Yeah, absolutely. Gonna get there very clear. Absolutely, I agree with that. I do agree with that. And we don't do religion or politics. Nothing against it. It's just read the room. Obviously, this is awesome. Free time for such a cool hobby, dude. I hope you get a telescope soon. Even if you got binoculars, man, it's an amazing way to actually start into astronomy, even with the pair of binoculars. I think it a great way to. Yeah, this is a really bright nebula. Really a really bright nebula. If I pull out some of the light, kind of make out a little bit, you start to see where Orionus ABC. Yeah, it's just stunning. Really a stunning. All right, should we hit the moon again? Go to the moon. There we go. Speed the camera back up. Actually, let me turn this back into mono. And we get it to go a little bit better. What do you guys think is the best budget-friendly telescope? Second-hand or for beginner. So look for a tabletop Dobsonian. Or you can look for something that has like a go-to mount which tracks. Would be a good idea. Something like even the 4SD is amazing for planets and even the moon. Pretty cool to see the telescope move. Kind of noisy too. I can actually hear it in here right now. Whee! It's kind of crazy. All right, should be getting close. It's probably going to be kind of bright when we first get. Let's see. Have to be getting close. Turn up some brightness. That. See what area it's in, and then we can speed up the mount. But yeah, we're good. And then let me dim it down. And pull it over. There we go. Yeah, Dobbs are really great learning stars, and I'd agree. I think if you even have a really size one, like I enjoy Dobsonian's star cluster. Kind of a oh crap! I just what am I? I'm not centered on it. So see if I can get right darn close. There we go. Back to the moon again. Moon rocks are the most the moon, right? So moon rocks typically we what's called a lunar meteorite, a meteorite that the moon. But then you can get the more expensive ones, stuff like. Do you guys have a way to interface the telescope with the Linux operating system? Yeah, you can. It depends on your mount, obviously. It's not the telescope; it's the mount that gets controlled by the computer. But you can look up EQ mod. If you ever wonder what I got a lunar meter right here actually. Let me see if I can throw it in. You want to see what a lunar meteorite looks like? Both the camera side and my camera. There we go. So a lunar meteorite. A Dobson because it was the largest I could across my backseat. Or that I hate to move yet. Definitely never buy a I can kind of don't get like the biggest telescope. Lunar meteorite. Man behind the voice, yep, sometimes. Or you can get an old skull like me, finer scope and yeah, let the object drift across the view. Yeah, I think that's actually a lot. Honestly, like letting objects drift through the view be a lot of fun. You take your hat off in space, what would happen? Yeah, no problem at all. Where do I buy this? You can get them online. Just make sure it's a reputable retailer, obviously. I'm not gonna, I guess, not suggest a single one. There's definitely reputable retailers online where you can get meteor. But look up a lunar meteorite. And pull some of the brightness out. There we go. Hey, what's up, Hank? How you doing? Good morning. What's a shimmering? The atmosphere. The atmosphere just kind of like distorting the light as it comes through. I don't see it so much on my side as you guys, as much as what you guys see though. Absolutely, Dobbs. Hey, how's everything going for you? Megadong, what is it now? It ain't Gabi, right? Yeah, I mean, atmosphere in it. We got a lot of moisture in our atmosphere. What do you think is the biggest bottleneck with consumer grade telescopes? Ooh, that's a tough one, man. The atmosphere, it's more the atmosphere than anything. Our atmosphere is aggressive for us. It really is a very aggressive environment that we have when it comes to telescope. Not rotating. Well, I get a tracking telescope. Your 2.4 millimeter lens on the moon this morning. Oh my goodness, that's good clarity. Really, we're getting good clarity tonight here. I'm okay. Where Apollo 11 landed. Nice. Very awesome. You can see now it's Sea of Tranquility barely in the view. Barely in the view. Yeah, it's super awesome though. Yeah, been a lot of smoke. Ton of smoke. Hey, what's up, John? How you doing, bud? Good morning. How are you doing? God, good morning. I'll probably go for just about 15 more minutes and it'll be 6 a.m. At some point I have to say I need to sleep and still wake up today. How can you tell that's the spot of what? What exactly? The spot of the landing sites? Been doing it so long, man. You can also download applications like Moon, for example, and study the moon from landing sites, not just even the Apollo missions, but all the way through from the Apollos to some of the other objects. Temps and residual heat coming off the cardboard are my biggest complaints. Yeah, absolutely. You need to make sure it's painted white for sure. First time viewer, can you get any closer, please? Can tell me why you get the site wobble. The wobble is the atmosphere. Not only that, but like for example, I'm not too far from the telescope, so like if I bounce a little bit, we'll get a wobble too. But yeah, we can zoom in a little bit. Let me see if I can set a new ROI. We'll zoom in like where all these impact craters are. Oh, hitting the wrong button. There we go. Find my mouse. You can zoom in a little bit more too. And check it all out. But it's the atmosphere though, turbulence. Yeah, absolutely, you're welcome. And we can walk around the moon just a bit here. Ooh, we're moving fast. Slow it down. There we go. Now we can move a little slower. Check out some of the beautiful impact craters. What's the most repairable telescope where you can buy parts for it? Ooh, ooh. You don't want to break a telescope. Celestron's probably one of the easier to buy parts for, though. Celestron, Orion used to be, but no longer is. Obviously, they went out of business. But Celestron's probably one of the. I'm from Australia. Where are we viewing this from? The United States, near Kansas City, Missouri. Almost weekly, I make stargazing trips. Look at Dobbs View right there. How many impact craters does the moon? More than 100,000. In Chinese, can you see the Chinese on the moon? No, they're near the South Pole. Yeah, anything that supports the right to repair, guys. Dude, I get it, man. I get that 100%. Probably Celestron though. There comes a little bit of an issue though. Whenever like you talk about like let's talk about Smith Cassegrain, Smith Cassegrain and Matt Cassegrain, something like that. Like if you break like the front glass, it's a tough deal because then you got to hit like a new mirror, internal mirror, your primary mirror. Plus you got to get the front glass called a corrector plate because they're actually built together. Obviously, when it comes to optics, optics can kind of fiddly, kind of the harder thing. But if you're talking about stuff like the Sidefinder and stuff like that, Celestron's probably one. You see Saturn's behind trees for me. Where's the base that they're going to build? Well, it's not there because they haven't built it yet. Yeah, we'll try to do Saturn tomorrow night. Hopefully I got everything. Albuquerque. Oh, sweet. Love it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, John. Have a good night, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. You see how the atmosphere is really, really wobbly now. We didn't have this effect earlier. We had a really clean atmosphere, but now we have a lot of turbulence. Imagine if you're flying an airplane in this area. Thanks, Mara. I appreciate you. You know I do. I'm new. What gear do you use right now? Currently, we're using the EQ6R Pro with a C11, 11-inch Smith Cassegrain, and then SV405C camera from SV Bunny. Thanks, Juan. I appreciate that, buddy. It depends. It depends on the night, man. Tonight, for me, probably going to be somewhere around midnight or so. Hey, Chuck, how's it going, bud? Yep, most of the creators have been named. Yeah. I can't. I have no memory to be able to remember all the names. I forget them. Too bad. I'm horrible with names. I'm good with faces, but horrible with names. My memory does not serve me well. Some beautiful mountain range. Mount High again. Then we got here as well. Alpine. 3:50 currently. What time is it for you? For me, it's 5:50 a.m. Almost 6 o'clock. Yeah, that's the moon currently. Looking at the moon. I shot. Was in. What? I'd say the name 5 to 10 times to remember better, dude. You know how many times like a Criscus or Criscus. I can even say correct. Yeah, I never even remember. Luckily, I can remember some of them, but not a lot. Not a lot. 650 there. Going on video process. Oh, nice. I remember the black cat on the moon, which is right here. So I remember Tycho, named after Tycho Braun. Obviously, I know those things by heart, but yeah, no, I have a hard time. Always have. I don't know. 6:50 a.m. in Lexington, Kentucky. Good morning. Hopefully, it's a beautiful day in Lexington. 7:51 in London. Wow. Ah, you're in California. Very nice one. Very nice. Hey, Connie, how's everything going? 6:50 in New Hampshire too. Columbus, Ohio. 3:51. 10:50 p.m. in New Zealand. Bedtime. 4:51 in New Mexico. Really. I say that like I wasn't even wake up 51. If I can add just there we go. Give Serenity that there. Beautiful area. This is actually a really mirror seat on the moon. That sounds good. Have a good day, Dobbs. An amazing day. If you don't mind me asking, Kansas City, Missouri. It's about an 8th and 1:50 or 1:52 p.m. Very awesome. That's super awesome. Columbus, Ohio. We know Ohio don't exist, so it's fake. Ohio don't. Where the aliens come from? True story. Maybe. I don't know. Sounds good. Got some of the mountain ranges right. How cool is that? Thanks, Dobbs. Appreciate that. 6:52. Harper's Ferry. Good morning, Cindy. 150, 52. Maybe. Wow. It's really cool how far we actually reach out here on YouTube. I think that's super amazing. Friend and love of astronomy all around the world. That's crazy awesome. Who's living? Alien. Got him. Oh, thanks. I appreciate you. Kind of worried about. You show Mars terrain. It's not above the horizon. It's already set. This coming up year, we'll actually get a really decent view. Every other year is awesome. For 1 year, it's a little bit further away. The next year's how orbits work. Why is the moon so filled with impact craters? It doesn't have an atmosphere like what we have here. So when we see the meteor showers, and the shooting stars in the sky, meteoroids that go through, they burn up in the atmosphere. Where the moon just don't have an atmosphere, so it takes a beating. Most of the impacts that we see though come from the Great Bombardment period. This happened somewhere around 3.5 billion years ago to about 4 billion. Probably all of you. They're all from Ohio too. Not really. Okay. Hey Jim. Good morning. I can't confirm. Nice. There you go. Finally got confirmation. Copernicus crater right there. A mess. We're roughly about the area right here, right about in the center, about where the right about here. How long would it take to reach the moon from Earth? You can get there in about 12 hours, but if you want to land there, about 3 days. You see the face. What face? Zoom in any closer. We can get a little bit closer. With this camera, we're actually zooming quite a bit for this camera, but we can try to get the zoom in a bit more. Is that a new ROI monitor? All right, there you go. Don't start getting pixelated at this point, though. Get a lot of pixels coming through. Usually, to get like a more zoomed in than we'd want the other camera. Has a smaller sensor on it. That sounds good. Have a good day. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. The moon's actually a sponge. It looks like it, don't it? Kind of looks like it until you see these like ball snake lava regions. This ancient lava. They're much smoother, obviously. How much to get one that can do that? Honestly, start off like binoculars. Binoculars are a wonderful way. Then look at like a tabletop Dobsonian, which can be like $100 to $300. The texture of the moon always stuns me. So much beauty on them. I might see the. Were you able to see the most? No, it wasn't here in the U.S. You had to be somewhere between like Australia, to Asia, and then over to East Africa, roughly. We didn't get it. We will next year, though. We'll get a blood moon early next year. I believe in March. Oh, that's awesome, Emily. Super awesome. Ridley Scott's film was instantly fighting aliens and transferred 385,000. All right, let me zoom back out real quick, and then we're probably going to call it in here quickly. It is super early. It's 6 a.m. and I am tired. Tired. What's the best thing that you've right here, right now? To be honest, like I enjoy being in the moment. I think that this is stunning. Any way to receive some kind of notification for life? Yeah, you can turn it on here. Make sure you hit the subscribe and go in and turn on notifications. All right, you're good. Nice. I am ready to call it for the day. But tonight, though, we'll be back on. Make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I'm sure you'll enjoy the things that we do here. I appreciate it. Thanks, John. Kansas City, Missouri. Somebody was asking a little bit about the observatory. You guys want to see how things operate? Um, I'll mute my mic. You guys want to see me like just how quick it is to shut down the observatory? I guess. Thanks, Emily. I appreciate that. Here we go. I'll go ahead and shut down the observatory real quick. The camera outside. Throw it in full screen too. Gotta remember how to do it. Side only. Well, we'll start to shut it down first. You guys can watch it kind of move. And I'll throw it in the outside camera, and then goes down the observatory. You'll see how quick it is, how sweet it is to have an observatory. Someone's asking about it. We'll do that. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and night. Let the telescope come back over here. Then it's gonna kind of flop back over. That way, there's a roof to slide over top of the area. Now I'll just throw in the camera for the telescope area. Hopefully it's not too. Could be good. And then I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to go out there and close the roof, slide over, and then win the live. Give me just a minute. Right, and there we go. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, even the stars in the open view. Oh, yeah. You see the clouds coming in? Quite a bit of clouds coming. Cheers, guys, y'all. Thanks for hanging out again. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hopefully tonight we'll be back on somewhere around 12:30 MZS Central Time. Again, clear skies, and we'll catch y'all soon.